Hi, this is Krista from Simply Breathe Now, and I am so excited to bring you this video on my small business journal. If you have a small business, this journal is great for helping you get you through your year. If it's a calendar year or a fiscal year, it doesn't matter. There's no date, so you can set it up for however you want. And I'm so excited to help you grow your business and become more focused and more driven. So this journal has 5 inserts. It has 1 insert for planning and 4 inserts, which each of them are a quarter. You can buy it with or without this cover. So there are many different colors that you can choose from, and it's first come, first serve. As the colors are picked over, I will start adding new covers and colors. So here are the 5 different inserts. The first insert, as I said, was a planning insert, and then the other 4 inserts are all quarters. They're broken down in quarters, so there's 3 months in each of them. So we'll walk through the first one. The first one I put a quote on just to kind of keep you remembering that small steps make big differences. So the first page is for your mission statement, and then the second page is an abundance tracker. So I'm going to show you my abundance tracker. This journal is huge, the one that I've been using. It is a B4 size, and the size that I drew is an A5 size because I found the B4 just really huge and cumbersome actually when using it. Lots of space to draw, but really cumbersome to use. So with the abundance tracker, you put the months at the top, and then you put down the side all the things that you are wanting to track for abundance. So I have a few things along the side, along social media. I have a few more things that I want to track coming up in the future. So I've made lots of spaces in the new journal so that you can track them. And it's really great to see how every month you are growing as a small business. The next one is an annual strategy. So the annual strategy is more like a year at a glance. So you can look at the year all at once. It's trying to put in everything. So as a small business, you aren't isolated away from the rest of your life. It's very much incorporated in your day-to-day life, in your family life. So the way it works is you put the months at the top and then put in the things that your family life affects your small business. So things that you're celebrating, holidays that you're celebrating. I have kids, so I'm off or really busy in July and August. So I know that my business is probably going to take a little bit of a downward spiral. You also have months that Christmas. I find Christmas, it's really hard to kind of get a lot of things out when you're trying to do everything around the Christmas season. You also want to put things that once you've done your growth and profit strategy, where you're going to do your products that are going to push, so you put those in, but then you also need to think about the marketing and when you're going to develop those products or those services. So it's backtracking and putting it in the month that you want it to be to release it, but then also backtracking when you're going to do the marketing, when you're not going to do the marketing. Also knowing when people are on the internet and when they're not on the internet, if you're an internet service, or that if you're having to do a lot of your marketing on the internet, knowing that there's not going to be a lot of people in certain months, but there'll be a lot of people on other months. So it's really kind of blocking everything and being able to come every quarter or every month and looking and saying, okay, am I on track? Am I developing what I'm supposed to be developing this month? Have I fallen behind, or am I getting ahead? Can I add something else? So it's just looking at how everything interlaces for the whole year. So I'm going to show you mine very big journal. So this is my annual strategy, and then I've added different things, like you can see, like my So Busy. That was a really, for next year, to know that it was a really busy month, so maybe not planning so many things. You'll see that September and October I kind of didn't end up planning a lot of stuff, and I should have been, but it got really busy and with back to school. So that's something to know for next year. I wanted to launch my website in July. Well, that didn't happen. So when you're planning things at the beginning of your year, know that it's not set in stone, but it's a good guidance and a good way to go through the year and have everything just at a glance. And I really enjoyed it, and I hope it helps you. So this next page is from My Best Year Yet by Lisa Jacobs. You'll see that I have a few of her pages. I read her book last year and I found it really inspirational, and so I really wanted to share some of the ones that I found helpful for you. So what you do is you write your goal, and then you have how is your profit and your growth strategies going to affect your goal. And it's having like what are the products you're going to be putting out, and also how are you going to be doing your marketing and your strategizing to help you grow so that you can incorporate more customers and also more interest, and then again being able to produce more profit through your products. So it's an overview. You don't necessarily need to fill it out all at the beginning of the year, but it's having a good idea of some of the things that you want to do. So here's my humongous, woo, the camera. Sorry about that. This huge, huge book. So this is the example that I got from Lisa Jacobs. This is her layout, and so I've changed it a little bit, but it's the same sort of idea with the goal in the middle, and then your profit and strategy on the side, and then what products you're going to do. You might not do all the products that you brainstorm, but you might have more. And then I added these little circles because I ended up doing things that I didn't realize was going to help with growth. And then there's things like email and my Facebook. I'm just starting to do that now, and I didn't even actually at the beginning of the year think I would do it. So it's just kind of getting an idea of how everything branches out, how it all interlaces, and how you can have the overview of the year. How to get that out of there without bumping the camera. Okay, the next one is my vision. So looking at your vision for your business and looking at it, again, not as a singular item that's isolated from your life, but also within your life. So where do you want your business in 1 year, and where do you want it in 3 years? And then what role models are affecting you and that can help you, that you can look at and strategize with to help you move your business forward? And then if I could not fail, what would you do if you could not fail? Which is always that question that it's like, if I had nothing holding me back or anything that would get in the way and I couldn't fail, what would I do? So that's always a good question to ask yourself. Then also looking at your financial, spiritual, mental, physical, and relational areas within your life. And again, because you're not singular in a small business and it's very isolated, it's very much incorporated in your life, there will be parts of your life that will come in. And so bring those in and account for them, because then that will help your business grow as well by making sure that they're in there. Now the next page is just a blank page for you to dream. Write out all your desires, and I've left you 3 other pages so that you can just write all the things that come to your mind that you want to work out, different products, different services, and how you can see the business growing. So that's your kind of planning overall insert. Next, you have 4 of these same inserts that are quarters. So at the beginning, you can write first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, and fourth quarter. And so each of these inserts has 3 months. And you start with a blank page where you can add anything that you want. You can do something inspirational for the quarter. You can just leave it blank. It's whatever you want. I did put this thing at the front where you dream, plan, evaluate, and persevere, so that you can actually, or execute and persevere, so you can actually get going. And that's kind of how the year, I feel like you dream at the beginning of the new year, and then you start planning everything out, and you do a bit of executing. Then you have to really push the execution, and then you have to persevere. It's not over. You can get to the end of the year and see all the profit. So then you have a blank page for that. The next is pretty much like a brain dump, but a brain dump for your whole quarter. So take everything that you want to do in this quarter and write it down. Write everything that you can think of, and everything that's in your life as well. Not necessarily just your business, but everything. So if you see mine, this is where you can use the bullet journal overview. So you can write everything as a task, and at the end you can be, if it's an event, it would have a time, and then when things are completed, or if you're migrating to the next quarter or the next month, or you're rescheduling because it just isn't going to work in this quarter. And then if it's not appropriate, things that you can do for, you just scratch it out. So you put everything down, And then once you've kind of got everything in your life down for that quarter, you start kind of migrating over to this quarter progress log. And this is where you kind of block things. So it's not this one big list, but you're kind of blocking into like, I need to finish this, I need to do this, I'm going to celebrate during this quarter for these things, I'm going to study or learn this, and then I'm going to start doing this. And by chunking everything, you have a better idea of what you need to do. And as you come back through your quarter and evaluate where you are, you can see that I got everything that I needed to finish, so there's more things I can do and I need to start things. So it's kind of chunking things once you get everything out of your brain for your quarter. Next is the monthly log. And the monthly log I've set up like the traditional Ryder Carroll spread. So what you'll do is you'll add the days of the week down the side, and then you will block off your weeks, have your focus for the month if you like, and anything that you want to do that isn't related to a week or a day, you would put up in this to-do list. And then I'll show you, sorry for the camera again. So this is in my current bullet journal that I use on a weekly, daily basis. So I block off the weeks, but I bring it all the way across to the other side for every week's. And then what you do on the left-hand side, these are all specific things that happen on that day. So anything related to your business that is happening on that day. And occasionally I put different things, like you'll see here, Thanksgiving, different holidays that might come in that might break up my workflow. And then on this side is where you put everything that you want to do for that week, but not necessarily attached to a day. So I have certain things like my Plan With Me videos go at certain months or certain weeks, third or fourth week. I need to pay Etsy on the last week for sure. I need to do a lunar push of all my inserts near the first of the month, or when the new moon is about to come out, about a week before the new moon. So you pick the weeks and you kind of put all the things that you're going to do in that week on the right side, and then the very specific things on the left side. So they kind of stand out, but you're still getting everything that you want to do in that month kind of put down. The next spread is a keeping stock spread, and basically keeping a list of your customers, how you contact them. I find that you can have people contact you through Messenger, through Etsy, through Facebook or Instagram, through personal messaging, their phone number, anything. So I like to put where I get their contact information from so that I know where to go back to talk to them. The next column is your product or service. And then there is a space for comments. And then these two boxes, I use it for paid and delivered, because I find sometimes if you do a pre-order, I also have added an extra box for printed. But it's up to whatever your service or your product is. So maybe made and delivered, or and paid or delivered. So whatever works for you. But it's nice to know that the people have paid and that I then also delivered it. Because sometimes my payment comes beforehand, or sometimes I deliver it and then they pay me after. It's not always together, so it's nice to have a checklist of both of them. The other thing, when you order this journal, you will get this page and you will get the next page as an instant download in case you have more customers or more income that you want to keep track of. You'll be getting both of them as an instant download as part of the purchasing of the journal. So this you may do on Excel or another place, but I was doing some research and it found that it is actually very important for small businesses to be writing down their income on a daily basis, or as often as possible, because what happens is that as a small business you get so wrapped up in the advertising and the producing that you sometimes forget about the money and the feeling of accomplishment and that sales are happening. So by keeping track on a day-to-day basis of the money that comes in, you're getting that instant gratification, if you want to put it that way, or that you are building and that you are moving forward, and it isn't just all for naught, that you're not putting all this stuff out here and not getting the payment back. So if you put that you're getting your income on a daily basis, it's really beneficial, and it keeps your spirits up and your drive going forward. I also put a place for expenses in case people want to keep track in here about what their expenses are and what the month is if they don't want to do it on an Excel sheet. So that's your financial report. And then the last page for each month is a monthly review, and I've kept it simple, but really targeting on some really important things when it comes to small businesses. So time that you spend well and time that you waste every month. How much do you spend your money well, and where do you waste it? Any big events that happened that month towards your business, and what was your best investment? That can be time, money, or something else. Really trying to think about how you can move your month forward. So any successes and how to maintain those. Where did you struggle, and why do you think you struggled? And is there any ideas that you have for plan for change going into the next month? So it's really trying to look at your business and how you've really used your time and what's been successful and where you've really struggled. And that comes back to this cover: one small step for mankind, one giant leap for man, one giant leap for mankind. Anything is possible, and it's all about the small steps and taking the time to reflect and being like, yes, these small steps are paying off, or no, those small steps aren't paying off and I need to remove them into a place where they will help me in the future. So taking the time to do a review, a lot of people don't really like to do reflection, but it is extremely helpful, especially in a small business. So you have 3 of those exact same pages in the month, and then at the end you have 5 blank pages so that you can write down lots more ideas and different things that are happening, or if you run out of room in any of the places. So you have 4 of those in total and the one at the beginning. So I hope this was helpful and inspirational, and I hope you really enjoy it. You can buy these on Etsy, or you can email me directly, and I hope that you enjoyed it, and I thank you so much for joining, and I'll talk to you soon.